Hello?
There you go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Okay. So welcome to my class. You're the very first student that I have for today. So
Yeah.
what is your name?
Pardon?
What is your name?
My name is Sunny.
Sunny.
Yes.
Okay. So you are my second Sunny for this week. Okay.
Yeah, I
And
know
let
there
me
are a
introduce
lot of
myself.
Sunnies in Mint and Korean
In
students.
me. Okay. I see. Actually, so far I only have the other Sunny 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, you are my second Sunny. And hopefully, I will have another third Sunny tomorrow. Okay, let me introduce myself. You can
Uh-huh.
call me Keanu, of course.
Keanu. Yeah.
There you. Yes. By the way, have we met before or no?
I'm not sure because I
Trying to
usually
remember it.
attend an evaluation classes, so if you did the evaluation classes, we might, yeah, have
We might,
class.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, before we start, have you eaten your breakfast?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay. Not a problem. Well then, if that's the case, if you're here for the evaluations class, I believe you were given a material to read about,
Yes,
right?
right.
Okay. Were you able to choose an article?
Yes, actually, I choose an article from the beginner part, but I haven't read it yet.
You haven't read it yet? I
Yeah.
see.
I chose
That's not a problem.
chose the first article. The title is "Women Vote."
Women vote. Okay. You know what? This is one of my favorite part of the article. So it looks simple
Yes.
at first glance,
Hmm.
but actually this topic is really complicated. So
Yes, right.
So if you want to read, go ahead. You may start, and then we will discuss. Okay?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Women vote. In the past, women around the world could not vote. In many countries around the world, it took many decades to change that. In the US, people started to protest against slavery in the 1840s. Black and white people did not have the same rights. However, some women could see that men and women did not have the same right too. Women started to meet and protest. However, the change was very slow and many people did not agree with it. US President Woodrow Wilson did not want to give women the right to vote. However, he changed his mind after World War First. The law changed in 1920 and more than 8 million women came to vote in the same year. In 2016, 74 million came to vote for the US president, and it is interesting to see that more women came to vote than men.
Okay, there you go. Thank you so much for reading the entire article. So, first question: what are your legal rights as a Korean woman in your country?
Uh, Illegal.
No, not illegal. That's bad. um, let's
One
say,
more, please.
what are your legal rights as a woman in South Korea? There you go.
Mm, Actually, in Korea,
Okay.
there is no difference between women and men human rights. So
Mm.
actually, we have some kind of, what can I say, uh, breastfeeding rights. It is. I think
Mm.
it's naturally, yeah, women's rights, but I think there is no difference between men and women in Korea, South Korea.
There's no.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So when you say there's no difference, What about, let's say, in your career? So that's the case. Everyone has the right and everyone has the equal opportunity to be promoted then
Yes,
in
right.
your career or in your
Y-
job.
Yes, everyone has the
Okay.
same
What
right.
else?
Yeah.
And what about in the old days in your country? Are women allowed to vote, let's say, around the 1960s, 70s, and 80s?
Mm, I'm not sure, but I think Korea had made the construction. What can I say? Uh, constitution. The constitution.
Okay.
Uh, after the after when the U.S. have the same rights, U.S. made the same rights to both of in U.S. When in U.S.
Okay.
both men and women have a have the same right. So the
Mm,
beginning of the constitution in Korea, we have the same rights for men and women. So I think there was no difference.
at all.
um,
Okay.
yeah,
So what you're
after.
trying to say is you modeled your modern constitution from U.S. Federal Constitution then, I guess, right?
Yes, but
Because men and women are given equal rights and opportunities, right?
yes, but in my country,
Mm, mm,
Korea is a very conservative country, so
mm.
we have the law that uh, protect women's rights, human rights, but
Yes.
there are still um, costume tradition that uh, dis, discriminate between men and women.
Discriminate.
Yeah, so
Mm.
we have the law, but there is still a lot of traditions that
There's still
yeah
a discrimination between men and women. Sometimes,
yes
but not all the time, right?
yes right.
Okay, I've been saying this for since last Monday until now that uh, I'm going to type it. Things had changed and times are strange, right? Things
Yes.
has changed and times are strange. The reason why I said that is because in this modern world, even men, there are men in South Korea who's into uh, pharmaceutical industry. In the sense of when I say pharmaceutical, like cosmetics, right?
Yeah,
And there are South Korean men who's into hairdressing, you
right.
know, stuff like
Yes.
that. And there are women in South Korea that want to serve in the army or become a police officer, right?
Yes, right.
So that's why I agree with you when you say that everyone in your country is actually, of course, given the right or given the legal rights and laws to protect them.
Mm.
But in my next case, this is for you, of course, Sunny.
Mhm.
Um, have you ever been discriminated at work
Uh,
for being a woman?
for being human. I
Yes.
think when I was in the high school, uh,
Okay.
yeah, uh,
Why?
in
Why high school? That's sad.
I think
Mm.
these days we don't have discrimination a lot that much than
Okay.
ever before. So I can remember that I remember that when I was in high
So what
school.
happens when what happened when you were in high school? Why were you
Uh,
discriminated?
there is a superstition that uh, the first customer in taxi, for a taxi
Yes.
driver, if it is woman or uh, women who is wearing glasses, it is a kind of superstition that uh, the taxi drivers, uh, what can
Will
I
have a bad
say?
day?
Yeah, they could have a bad day. So yeah, in the
Wow.
morning I was very late school, so I had to take the taxi for to go to school,
Yeah, okay.
and that guy who is a taxi driver, scared me to you
Scolded
don't
you. Oh my goodness.
why do you take this taxi in the morning, because you gave me a bad day. So I was very
What?
embarrassed, but as I mentioned, it is a kind of superstition. So
I
yeah,
know.
when I was a kid and when I was a student, there are a lot of discrimination for women like this.
For women.
Yeah.
I see. And I must say that that is a very silly superstition. Why
Mm-hmm.
would you be rude to a lady who's about to be late at school, right? Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
right.
And
Even though I paid for him, so I was a
mm,
customer, and in Korea there is people says that customer is the king, but he treated me that like that.
yes, the driver was so rude, right?
Yeah, right,
Oh
right.
my goodness. And I've learned before, actually, I was surprised that when there is a newly married couple in South
Hmm.
Korea, the grandparents of both the husband and the wife prefer the firstborn to be a baby boy. Is that true?
Uh, yes, right. They prefer to son than daughter.
Daughter?
Yeah, son
Mm.
and daughter. So they want most of
Is there any explanation for that?
grandparents wants
Any
to
any logical explanation why grandparents prefer firstborns as sons instead of daughters?
in my country there uh,
Mm.
actually the man has economic power in their house, their home. So,
Mm.
yeah, actually, especially for agriculture areas, because they have a lot of power than women, so they want to
Mm-hmm.
man. They prefer to man than women, I think.
They prefer. I see. Okay. Now, in modern times, do you still think in every household of South Korea, do you guys still practice the patriarch system,
Not really. I don't
or
think so.
not really?
Yeah, you mentioned Korean grandparents, especially for
Yes.
Korean grandparents. So I think our parents do not, yeah, uh, think like that. So uh, as time goes by, many grandparents generation uh, die, go away, and yeah,
Okay.
next
Old people die,
generation,
and so with their ideas.
uh, and next
That's
generation, uh,
okay.
yeah, uh, I think don't prefer especially son than daughter. So yeah, in my generation, many people prefer daughter than son. On the
Than
contrary,
son.
yeah,
Okay, that's amazing.
yeah,
Uh, do you think that women should be able to do all the same jobs as men?
of course.
Okay. Why do you say yes?
These days, we actually women has the same economic power with the man. So
Okay.
um, I think we can, even though Mm, yeah, as you mentioned, women can be army or yeah, first army, so police. So I
Mm-hmm.
think yeah, women can have the same job with men.
Just like men. I
Mm-hmm.
see. Well, one of the problems that I see in South Korean society is that I think there is a number of increasing single single adults,
Yeah,
right?
right.
There are women who prefer to live alone, and there are men who prefers to live alone.
Yes,
Same case basically.
yes.
So that's why your government is pushing you guys to procreate because the birth rate is really low in South Korea. Am I correct?
Yes, right, right. And you know the
How do you
price
address
of
that situation?
yeah, and I think the price of house is very high in Korea. So if you want to buy house and you have to support your uh, spouse and your kids, you have to
Family,
earn
yes.
a lot of money. So many people
Oh,
don't want to sacrifice their lives for other people.
okay, that's sad. And the reason why I asked that question is because I watched a documentary about South Korea, and by the year 2073,
Mm-hmm.
there's a potential extinction of your people because
Mm.
the number of seniors are higher than the number of young people in South Korea. That's why.
Mm. Yes, right, right. Mm.
And about women's rights, of course, uh, in cases of divorces involving children, which
Mm.
parent should take care of the children and why?
Mm, I think it depends on their economic power or their yeah
Okay,
ability to yeah support their kids.
their
If
kids.
yeah if the wife can earn a lot of money than much money than the husband, I
Okay,
think wife can yeah raise their kids instead of
I see.
yeah. What do you
So
think?
in my case, for the let's say if the kid or the child is only below 7 years old, then that kid should stay with his or her mother
Mm,
until come a time where the child is capable of making his or her own decision
mhm,
and choose whether he will go with the mother or the father, of course.
mm. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Mm.
May I know if divorce is legal in South Korea? Is it legal?
Yes, it's illegal, of course.
Oh, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Well then, oh my goodness. So apparently, Sunny, our time is up. So,
Ah,
do you,
okay.
ha- do you have any questions, by the way?
Not really, but I had
Not
very,
really.
yeah, enjoyable time with you today. I
Likewise,
I
of
like
course.
your, yeah, questions.
Okay, that was just a question, okay? So don't worry about it. All right. Well, then I have to say goodbye for now. Thank you so much for your time. Bye,
hmm
Sunny. Take care.
Bye. Good day.